All right, good morning. Friday, March 14th. We're taking a look at NASDAQ as always. Now, into the close yesterday, what we had shared, what we had written up for the Traders Think Tank members was the main focus would be how price responded to this area of support right down here. You can see that during the overnight session, obviously trading higher, right? We're back into this kind of mid near term range zone right through here. Weekly volume point of control. Volume point of control for the current structure at play, right? About 250 or so, 170 by 775 as the near term range. What I'm going to be focused on this morning is whether or not buyers can continue to sustain this overnight move. If this structure is going to continue to hold as a range, then technically speaking, price should test the upper portion of the range. However, this has been a seller's tape. It can definitely continue to be a seller's tape. So if we start to see that rollover right through here, we'll largely be hands off until we start to see some retests down into prior day low area or some higher time frame reversal to work with. So that's pretty much the main focus. Going to be looking at 19,500 and this 19,400 level very early into the session. We do have MCS at 10 a.m. That's typically a decent market moving event, market moving data. So watch out for that 10 a.m. data that's going to be coming. As of right now, NQ kind of in that no man's land. VWAP down at 432, session volume point of control there at 441. So I'm going to be patient right off the open here. All right, got about 20 seconds till the open. Let's see it. Let's see what we're going to be working with. What's it going to be? There's your open. NQ coming into that 500. Let's see that reaction here at 500. 19,500. There's your test right through there. Buyers want to show some acceptance above that level and make a push for the overnight high. Prior day high is then up into 577. Sellers trying to defend. Let's see. Let's see what we get here near 500. 5 hundo. Very slight new high of day there. So far, opening 5-minute bar is pretty strong. A little bit of churn here at the level of interest. There you go. There's the break. There's that overnight high. Nice little push there. Yeah, we got some good volume on that push. So if the overnight high holds now, you're looking at a prior day high, like I said. Then 650 is your upside level of interest. Overnight high 5335. Prior day high 577. There it is. See how prior day high is going to be treated now. Tried to make the most of that one. Not my favorite entry there. But we'll take it. We'll take it. We'll take the 35 points. Rather be in near 500. Couldn't find an entry I loved right there. So we get in at the overnight high. Now the question is, can buyers break this prior day high here? I'm going to raise the trail up just beneath 6.5 in case we get a rejection here. Take it off. Getting into 600. I'm going to trail a little tighter. We'll go just beneath 75. Just beneath that prior day high. ES, what a monster bounce versus VWAP. My goodness. Same with RTY. Finally got some nice buyers in this tape. Let's see if it lasts past 10 a.m. That's the real question. All right, I need 7.5 to hold here. Otherwise, I'll get trailed. Session high at 600 psychological level. Here comes the trail. And we're taken out. Not bad. Not bad there. Discussed thesis, as well as the one that was posted in the notes, is panning out quite nicely so far. So now we want to see how prior day high is going to continue to be treated here. Up into 650, up into potentially 775. A little consolidation here near that prior day high. Stays on watch. Like we've been talking about this week, we've not seen sustained strength above the prior day high, just as a theme, in over a month. So does that change today? Maybe. I have no crystal ball. This opening 15-minute bar closes here in 3 minutes. NQ pulling in a little bit. Getting back into that 38% fib area. You got the overnight high right near the 50% fib for this intraday push, RTH push. There's your 5-minute regular trading hours chart there. So NQ's testing prior day high from beneath here. That opening 15-minute bar closes about 30 seconds. Then we have just 15 minutes till MCS. So let's see how the session highs are going to be treated here. That's 600 psychological level. But the real level of interest that I have is up at 650. 19,650. Then as we see price get into the upper portion of the range, that 10 a.m. is going to be key. How price trades after 10 a.m. Thanks, Rich. The morning is young, the day is young, sir. I was watching this reaction here near prior day high. They just get a structure to build out here near prior day high, and then 10 a.m. resolves. Something like this for the next 15 minutes or so. Just thinking out loud. Looks like you have YM up through overnight high. Russell, same. ES getting into that prior day high. Testing 5,600 right now. Level of interest there for the S&P. All right, getting into 9:50. Means 10 minutes till 10 a.m. 10 till 10. NQ retest in the session high. There's your new high of day. Does it hold? Coming into 610s. Maybe 6:50 into 10 a.m., huh? Let's see. Let's see. I grabbed another snack there. Just trailing now. See if we grab 650. Yeah, I got to make the most of what the market gives you. See if they want my trail right here. Got it down there into 590. Yeah, here it comes. So if this trail gets hit, I'll be cashed till post 10 a.m. with the MCS. There's the trail. 2 for 2 on the morning. Not bad, not bad. Nothing crazy. Better entry would have been at 500, but I didn't like the setup over there. So try and make the most of that pre 10 a.m. directional move with what the market gives you. Now I remain in cash till post 10. 7 minutes. You got ES bumping into prior day high. There's a little retest, prior day high, 23% fib on NASDAQ. Like I said, no new positions for me till post 10. 2 for 2 on the morning. Nice little setup right there, though. You want to trim into highs and then try and hold for 650 if you grab that long. Back into prior day high. 4 mins till 10 a.m. Watch that tape start to get all chattery. Chattery and jittery. Tape dance. One too long ago, I had an order in profit on the live stream through MCS with a trail that got filled with about 30 points of slippage. So there's your warning if you're holding through MCS. Yeah, check out that 15-minute bar here into 10. Fifteen and 5-minute on NASDAQ as we get into 10. ES rejecting the prior day high here. This should be interesting. This should be interesting. Yeah, Rich, that one was not fun. Still ended up being a profitable trade, but you hate to give that much back. All right, 1 minute. Everything just freezes. Boop. There she goes. New low of day. Don't act surprised. Warning was sent. Warning was sent. NQ, we're back in a 19,500 here. The spread is massive, so just letting it settle a bit. So we'll see how 500 gets treated. Looks like you had new lows made across the board. Oh, not YM. YM did not make a new low, but ES and RTY sure did. Yeah, MCS usually pretty wild. Everything freezes for a second. That's the most hilarious part. Trading view, trade ovate, it's all just like frozen. So the 500 area stays on watch here. Interestingly, that low retested the weekly volume point of control there, 450 area. And NQ coming into that overnight high at 533. Still a decent reference point. 5-minute closure in 40 seconds. There's the overnight high. Can bring that intraday fib back here. Let's see where we're at. There's the 50 right there near the overnight high. We'll see what sellers have to say about that. Did grab another little piece. Not my favorite. Got the trail in profit here already, so in case overnight high is rejected. Not my best entries today, but we're just making the most of this action. Raise that trail up beneath 520. See what we can get out of this thing. There's your 61% fib. That's from the session high into the session low. Raise the trail some more, just beneath 540 now. Prior day highs right there. I got to raise the trail more. No intraday structure here, unfortunately, to set the risk beneath. So we just gotta raise it. I'll go right beneath 6.5 on the runners. We'll see if it gets taken out right now. Yeah, there she goes. Alrighty. Not bad. Not bad. Add 70 points to the day right there. 3 for 3. Yeah, Mish, that one was tough. Did not love my entry, but then VWAP holds. Not bad, not bad. Now it's a little trickier here. A prior day high. A higher low now at 500. Yeah, I don't know if I love that idea, actually. Because then I'm starting to question the strength of buyers. Like I said this morning, they need a push into the near term range high. I don't really if we get back in a 500, I don't know if I trust them enough. It could work. It definitely could work, but will I set risk against 500 again? Probably not. I don't think so. No. I'm going to pass on that one. Like this push right here that I was just in my opinion, they should have made a test of the highs there, a new high of day. It just rolls over at prior day high. So remember this 19500 is in the middle. It's in the middle of the bigger structure. Not the best spot. ES rollover right at 5,600. So we'll see if there's a lower high in the making right now for the intraday structure. There's 500 again. Five hundo. Yeah, no entry for me there on 500. Rodrigo, I'll go just beneath 6.5 on that one. Good volume here. Let's see how our intraday continues to build out. Yeah, Mish. Exactly. It's that typical that's like a trap. You think it's a higher low there. Rolls over. That's what I was saying a few minutes ago. Would not put risk on at 500 again. See if we get the new low of day. Into the lows. Into the lows. Hope no one grabbed that 500. Yeah, starting to get into no man's land here. So session low will be a reference point. Next level of interest is 400. Just looking at that RTH 5-minute. You get the retest and reject of 500 right there. Dom, you got that overnight high short. Nice. Not the prior day high? Didn't like the prior day high? Patience, patience, patience. We need some patience here. If you haven't placed a trade yet, you may just want to call it. Come back for the late morning, early afternoon sesh. Dom, you still in here? Did you grab those Vaporfly 4s? They just dropped. Already sold out. Damn. Rip. Yeah, the resale. That's rough. All right, NQ. Here's those expected sellers trying again into the lows we go. Picture perfect with that question earlier, Mish. That was timely. That was timely. Play back the stream if you missed it. Talking about the retest of 500 right here and why that was not an area you want to be long. Rich got the short. Nice. Auto DG lockout. I like that. Forced over trading prevention right there. It's a good tool. Back into that 500 area. Volume point of control. 486. NASDAQ. Let's see the 5 and 15-minute close here. Got some more structure building out. Yeah, Rich, a lot of I speak with a lot of traders that don't want to use the built-in broker tools for risk with the logic that you should be able to just have the discipline and willpower to do it, which is definitely a fair argument. But I mean, the goal here is to get paid. There's no extra style points that you get if you don't use the broker tools. It's not like you get it's not like you get extra profit. So it's a silly argument, in my opinion. Just use the tools. If the tool would help you, use the tool. It's pretty simple. It's like having some of the benefits of actually being on a real prop desk where there's going to be a risk manager who's just going to cut you off. It's kind of like that. And Q right back through 500. We just got chop here. Barcode about 1 hour into the sesh. One hour into it. Still just with my 3 for 3 as discussed. We did the overnight high long, tough entry. Did the prior day high long, another tough entry. And then the 500 level of interest long, another tough entry. Now we're cash. Nice, Christina. Have a good weekend. We'll see you next week. All right, folks, I think we call it right there. Not going to be getting involved in this whatsoever. So, two scenarios I'll be looking for that would bring me back into focus are a break of the lows or some action back up through the prior day high. All of this, not interested at all. We'll keep it going in the Traders Think Tank here. All right, Richmond, have a good weekend. Yeah, I think that's a wrap there. We'll keep it going in the think tank, but otherwise, like I said, no desire for putting on risk here. No desire at all. Show me a new low of day or some action above prior day high, and that'll bring the focus back. Till then, that is a wrap. So hope you guys had a good morning and a good week. Don't forget to get your weekly review done. If you care about making progress in your trading business, you're doing your weekly review. That's a fact. And we will see you all Monday. Have a good weekend.